Tell me that story a little bit.
Yeah, so
It was a
it was
Saturday morning. You were having your breakfast.
right, yeah, and we decided to go to the park, and it was Spencer, I, and a couple of our friends. And as we were hiking, one of the girls that we were with, the pathway ended up giving way, and she fell off a 75-foot cliff. Um, so she
Wait a
was laying at
second. What park has a 75-foot cliff? And
Pittsburgh,
what?
Pittsburgh.
And you're 11 years old. And was there an adult with you?
Yeah, so like this pathway that we were on, it kind of merged into two different directions. So we were said, hey, we'll go this way, and you go this way, and we'll meet at the end. And as we were walking, she ended up falling off of it.
Did you see that?
I did see that. And there was about 6 or 7 of us there. And I was like, hey, I got to go down there. Like, she was unconscious. Like, in my opinion, I thought she looked dead. So I was concerned. I'm like, I got to get down there and make sure she's okay.
Wait,
So,
sorry. You were 11 at the time.
yeah.
And who is the oldest person who was with you?
It was, I mean, minus the adults, it was probably me.
But the adults weren't like, I'm
No,
gonna go down.
they didn't know that happened because they went the other way. We were
Sorry.
supposed to
Yep.
meet them at the
Okay.
end.
Okay.
So I was like, hey, I got to go down there and check on her. So I tried to like ease my way down there, and I ended up slipping, and I fell off of it. And I ended up hitting I believe I like landed on my head. So I ended up getting a skull fracture and a brain bleed from that. So now there's two of us laying unconscious. So my twin brother's like, hey, I'm not going to go that way. I'm going to try another way. And he tried to come down. He actually fell off a 100-foot cliff down beside us. And I don't know what my other friends were doing.
This is like a video game. This is like okay, we have 5 lives. Let's try to get down this cliff. This is crazy. This is a crazy story.
Yeah. So I don't know what my other friends were doing. Nobody called 911 or anything. So I just remember waking up and I see Spencer, and he ended up getting his leg caught on a tree. So like he had like this big chunk taken out of his leg to where you could see his femur, and he was like crawling over towards me, and I saw him, and I just like threw up and passed out. So he was able to call 911.
How?
And
He had a
we
cell
just
phone?
yeah, we just got cell phones for Christmas, and this happened in March. So we had cell phones for like 3 or 4 months.
I
And
hope you beat those other kids' asses. Those other kids.
so he ended up calling 911, and they couldn't locate us. So all of a sudden, my mom's at home, and she gets a call from a 911 dispatcher and says, hey, your two sons fell off of a cliff, and we can't find them. And
Oh
she's like,
man.
what are you talking about? So my older brother, Steven, ended up going to the park that we were at, and he went to the very bottom. And I just remember he called me, and he's like, what's around you? And I'm like, trees. I was like so out of it. And I told him that there was this one box at the bottom of the cliff. So he's running down along these railroad tracks trying to locate us. And he was actually the first one to find us. So my older brother actually beat the first responders there, and he got to us, and he was able to get everybody there. And then we ended up getting life flighted down to Pittsburgh, and then we began a recovery process.
How close did the girl survive?
Yeah, she had, I don't want to say only, but she had a punctured lung. So she was in the hospital for a few days, and then she was cleared. Um, I had a lot of brain injuries and head injuries. Spence had head injuries as well, and then his whole thing with his leg. And we were in the hospital for a couple of weeks, and ended up having to get homeschooled for the rest of the year. And then we had all contact sports taken away from us. And that's actually how we got into CrossFit.